New carry-on rules airlines are enforcing this summer, 2026. If you're planning to travel this summer, there's something important you need to know. Airlines have started enforcing new carry-on rules in 2026, and many passengers are getting caught off guard at the airport. What used to be flexible is now strictly monitored. Bags that were once allowed are now being rejected, and small mistakes are turning into unexpected fees. These changes are part of airlines' efforts to manage space, reduce delays, and increase revenue. But for passengers, they can mean stress, delays, and extra costs. The biggest problem? Most travelers don't even realize the rules have changed until it's too late. From stricter size checks to new limits on personal items, these updates can directly impact your travel experience. In this guide, we'll break down the 10 most important carry-on rules airlines are enforcing this summer 2026, so you can avoid surprises and travel smarter. 1. Stricter carry-on size enforcement. Airlines are no longer lenient when it comes to carry-on size. In the past, slightly oversized bags were often allowed without much scrutiny. However, in 2026, airlines are strictly enforcing size limits using airport measuring bins. If your bag does not fit perfectly within the allowed dimensions, you may be required to check it at the gate and pay additional fees. This change is largely due to increasing passenger numbers and limited overhead bin space. Airlines want to ensure that all approved carry-on bags fit properly to avoid delays during boarding. Even a difference of a few centimeters can now result in your bag being rejected. To avoid issues, travelers should measure their bags before leaving home and ensure they meet airline requirements. It's also wise to avoid overpacking, as stuffed bags may exceed size limits even if the suitcase itself is compliant. 2. Carry-on weight limits are back. Many airlines are reintroducing weight limits for carry-on luggage, especially on international and budget flights. While some passengers were used to focusing only on size, weight is now becoming equally important. If your bag exceeds the allowed weight, you may be asked to check it, often with an additional fee. This rule is particularly common in regions where airlines aim to reduce fuel consumption and improve efficiency. Passengers often overlook weight restrictions, assuming they only apply to checked baggage. However, enforcement is increasing, and airport staff are conducting random checks at boarding gates. To stay within limits, consider packing lighter items in your carry-on and distributing heavier belongings into checked luggage if possible. 3. Personal item rules are tighter. The definition of a personal item has become stricter. Airlines now clearly specify that personal items must be small enough to fit under the seat in front of you. Acceptable items typically include a small backpack, handbag, or laptop bag. Larger backpacks or duffel bags that were previously accepted as personal items are now more likely to be flagged. If your personal item exceeds the allowed size, it may be counted as a second carry-on, leading to additional charges. This rule is being enforced to prevent passengers from bringing multiple large items on board, which contributes to overcrowded cabin space. Travelers should double-check size guidelines and avoid assuming that anything labeled as a backpack will qualify as a personal item. 4. Basic economy restrictions have increased. Basic economy passengers are facing stricter limitations in 2026. Many airlines no longer include a free carry-on bag with these tickets. Instead, passengers are only allowed one personal item. If you bring a carry-on suitcase with a basic economy ticket, you may be forced to check it at the gate and pay a fee. This change is part of airlines' strategy to differentiate ticket tiers and encourage passengers to upgrade. While basic economy fares may appear cheaper initially, the added cost for baggage can quickly increase the total price. Passengers should carefully review ticket details before booking and consider whether upgrading to a standard economy ticket may offer better overall value. 5. Liquid rules are being strictly enforced again. Although liquid restrictions have been in place for years, enforcement is becoming stricter in 2026. Passengers are required to carry liquids in containers no larger than 100 milliliters, all placed within a single transparent bag. Security staff are paying closer attention to compliance, and items that exceed limits are more likely to be confiscated. This includes not only obvious liquids but also gels, creams, and certain food items. The increased enforcement is partly due to enhanced security protocols and the need for faster screening processes. To avoid delays, travelers should organize their liquids properly before arriving at the airport and ensure all items meet the required guidelines. 6. Electronic screening is more detailed. Airports are introducing stricter screening procedures for electronic devices. In many cases, passengers are required to remove laptops, tablets, and other large electronics from their bags during security checks. Some airports are also testing advanced scanners that may allow electronics to remain inside bags, but this is not yet universal. As a result, rules can vary depending on location. Failure to follow these procedures can lead to delays and additional inspections. Travelers should pack electronics in an easily accessible section of their carry-on to speed up the screening process and reduce inconvenience. 7. Gate checking is becoming more common. Even if your carry-on meets all requirements, airlines may still ask you to check your bag at the gate. This is becoming more common as flights become fuller and overhead space becomes limited. Gate checking is often presented as a convenience, but it can result in longer wait times upon arrival and the risk of lost or delayed baggage. Airlines use this practice to manage cabin space efficiently, especially on crowded flights. To reduce the likelihood of gate checking, passengers can board early or choose seats that offer priority boarding. 8. Charging for overhead bin space. Some airlines are experimenting with charging passengers specifically for overhead bin space. This means that even if you are allowed to carry on, you may need to pay extra to place it in the overhead compartment. This trend is particularly noticeable among low-cost carriers, where unbundled pricing models are common. Passengers who do not pay for overhead space may be required to store their bags under the seat, which can limit legroom. Understanding these policies before booking can help travelers avoid unexpected charges. 9. Stricter enforcement at boarding gates. Airlines are now conducting more checks at boarding gates to ensure compliance with carry-on rules. Staff may measure bags, weigh them, or inspect personal items before allowing passengers to board. This last-minute enforcement catches many travelers off guard, especially those who assume their bags would not be checked. If a bag fails to meet requirements, passengers may face higher fees compared to checking the bag earlier. To avoid this, it's important to comply with all rules before reaching the gate. 10. Increased focus on faster boarding. All these new rules are part of a larger goal: faster boarding and fewer delays. Airlines are under pressure to improve efficiency and reduce turnaround times between flights. By limiting carry-on baggage and enforcing stricter rules, they can streamline the boarding process and ensure flights depart on time. While this benefits airlines operationally, it places more responsibility on passengers to follow the rules carefully. Travelers who are prepared and informed can move through the airport more smoothly and avoid unnecessary stress. The new carry-on rules for summer 2026 are changing the way people travel. What was once flexible and relaxed is now more structured and strictly enforced. From size and weight limits to personal item restrictions and additional fees, these updates are designed to improve efficiency, but they can also lead to unexpected challenges for passengers. The key to avoiding problems is awareness. By understanding these rules in advance, you can pack smarter, plan better, and avoid unnecessary costs. Simple steps like checking your airline's baggage policy, measuring your bag, and packing within limits can make a big difference. In today's travel environment, being informed is your biggest advantage. When you know the rules, you stay in control, and your journey becomes smoother, cheaper, and far less stressful.